Bad timing here for the IRS because it would be among the organizations directly hit by another shutdown, just as refunds are going out. But those refunds are a little bit smaller than a lot of folks thought. Accountant Dan Geltrude, a very, very good one right now on what the impact of that is going to be. You know, Dan, first off, on the refund issue, apart from the government shutdown and what people could be facing, are you surprised by this? I'm not. I mean, taxes went down, so it would make sense that the monies refunded would be smaller this year than the year before. But your thoughts?
Well, when you look at these statistics, Neil, that the IRS is coming out with right now, you know, you have lies, damn lies, and then there's statistics, right? Mark Twain. Look, you have to look at it this way. It's not about the refund amount. What it's about is how much total tax has either been decreased or increased. That's what this is about. So this is, to me, no more than a timing issue. Did people get more money back in their paychecks throughout the year as opposed to when they file their tax return in April, whether they're going to get a larger amount at that time?
So forget about being in a high-tax state where you were limited at $10,000 and writing off the amount of mortgage interest and or taxes you have. This applied to a variety of other things that are hitting people only now, or they're seeing it only now. What do you think's going on?
I think that what people are seeing right now, Neil, is the impact of what this new tax law is going to really be about. You and I have spoken before in the past that the day of reckoning, April 15th, is coming. So people are really going to know, how did I make out? You know, these withholding tables that were set up during 2018, I think they were devised so that people were going to get more money in their paychecks as they went along. Now, April 15th comes, what's going to happen? And, you know, there
did they overdo that? I'm sorry to jump in here, Dan. Did they overdo that? In other words, did they make this appear more generous than it really was with the withholding tables?
I think that was the point, Neil. I think the point was that the president wanted people to have more money in their take-home paychecks, and that's exactly what happened. But let's talk about this. What's the economic impact of the timing of people having this money in hand? Now, if they had a larger sum with a tax refund on April 15th, does that mean around that time, that disposable income in their pocket, they would be more likely to go out and spend, as opposed to just having a little bit more in their paycheck throughout the year? So this is going to have some economic impact on the country.
You know, Dan, the one thing I remember when the tax cut was approved, they had to move fast to readjust tables so that everyone could take advantage of this and all. Did they move too fast? In retrospect, it's one thing to say, all right, this is the top rate at this level, it kicks in. This is the next rate at this level, it kicks in. That they didn't factor in adjusting those tables, write-offs that were either pared back or cut off entirely.
That may be the case, Neil, because they rushed this thing through so quickly. I think in the end, something so complicated as tax reform, you can't get that done in a matter of a couple months when you have thousands and thousands of pages of the Internal Revenue Code. So I would agree with the theory that this may have been rushed a little too quickly, and there is some fallout here that they may not have anticipated that was going to hit. And as I said before, it may really have some economic impact on the country come this spring.
In other words, people realizing that, oh, I was expecting this kind of refund, or God forbid now I'm not getting a refund, it would affect their spending plans. And that would obviously affect the momentum in the economy.
I believe that is the case. Look, people have short memories. That little bit that they were getting in their paycheck over the course of the year, many people use that tax refund as a savings vehicle. And now they're anticipating, well, tax reform was going to give me more money. Wait a minute. I don't quite have as much in my tax refund as I thought I was going to get. Well, that was because you had already gotten it over the prior 12 months. So now people are going to have to go back and readjust those withholding tables depending on how they want to get that money. Do they want to use it as a savings account, which, by the way, I never recommend doing, especially,
that's like
Neil,
a free loan to the IRS.
Right. And how about this? Because of the shutdown looming, if there's potentially delays in those refunds, which could very well happen. Now you have people getting held up and getting that money for who knows how long.
Yeah, Dan, I remember a little over a year ago when all this was going down, you were saying be careful, look at your tables, plan accordingly. You know, a lot of things are factored into this that you're not looking at, like a good accountant would. I appreciate that. Dan, thank you very, very much.
Thank you, Neil.
See, Dan avoided saying I told you so, but he could have easily said I told you so.